Okay, Holy Spirit, you're in control. I don't know how to start this one because I feel weird to start a new video on YouTube for this new year. I actually had so many plans for this new year, and it's starting with a weird note, before the year ends. My dad passed away. Yep. He passed away beautifully, to say the least. But he passed away. But it's like God has been putting me in a corner where, he's asking me to, telling me like, hey, it's either you keep going, or you're just gonna stay and mourn and mourn and mourn and mourn. At the same time, I've been asking myself so many questions, such as, what is mourning? How long should I mourn for? It sounds so wrong to ask these type of questions, because it kind of shows that, hey, did I care? But I did care. My dad is like my favorite human being in this world. He was my favorite human being, and he passed away. So I was wondering, how should I start this new thing? Should I stop? But I had stopped last year, and the enemy is trying me so much, using my emotions to make me waste time, and the Spirit, please take control. And so here I am right now with a new video and a new setup and a new YouTube content program, or whatever that is. Trying to make my projects, or whatever things that God has asked me to do on YouTube, trying to make them things work, regardless of whatever roadblocks I would find on my path. And that's one roadblock, and that should not stop me from moving, because life goes on, right? Which is super sad. Truly, life goes on. It sucks to say life goes on, because you miss someone so precious in your life. Oh my God. Seeing and just watching, like, there's a rainbow right here. There's a rainbow right in front of me. 2 rainbows right in front of me. Truthfully, guys, I don't know if I should have started this video or not, because that could have felt so disrespectful. But I'm thinking about my dad. Like, what would my dad do? I think my dad would be proud of me to keep going, because he wouldn't want me to stay and just be there and just mourn about the past, even if the past is so hurtful. But really, God made a way. God truly made a way, and God led him to him. We've seen it. We've seen him going to Christ. I truly don't know how I feel by making a video like this, but I know it is the right thing to do. It's it looks so weird to start something with a somber note, but it is not somber in a way, because it's like I'm honoring him in a way, because my dad has left a beautiful legacy. Not in a materialistic way, but in terms of values and principles. He had left beautiful legacy. I had written a whole script for this video because I didn't want to stumble upon my words, but that wouldn't feel genuine. So I'm being completely honest with you right now. I'm completely blunt, and I don't care how long this video will be. I just miss my dad. He left. Now tomorrow is gonna be 2 weeks. 2 weeks after his passing. But it's like life should go on. It's like I have to move on. Like in terms of life should go on. Like you need to go back to work. I need to travel back to go back to my activities, and my sister and my mom are gonna be left alone. I mean, not gonna say that because I know God is with them. God has been with them. God has sustained them. And I know they're gonna hold on to Christ. Guys, God has been so good. I can start telling the whole story because I can start giving you the whole story about this, but it's gonna be so long. It's not gonna be enough. Yeah, like I said, it's not gonna be enough making a whole video on YouTube telling who my dad was and how he left and how really the goodness of God was shown throughout his whole life. I can give you so many testimonies when it comes to the ways that God really touched him and how he surrendered his life to God and how he completely changed to become this child of God. I mean, if I can find the right words. Just to let you know that my dad was an extraordinary man. Extraordinary man. He was humble, so humble. He was so humble. Someone who would help people. He would give so much. He didn't have a lot. He gave so much to people. Everything of him. He would give people his time. And making sure that people would leave different when encountering him. They would leave happy. They would leave him with hope. And my dad was this. My dad was an encourager. My dad was someone who would bring smiles on people's faces. My dad was the life of a party. Like he would know everyone. I'm talking back in Haiti. He would know everyone, and people knew him too. It was like very popular. He was a very happy man. Never complained about anything. Never complained. Never heard him complaining. Even on his deathbed, never complained. We had to flip him from left to right every 2 hours because he had bed sores, and we didn't want him to have more bed sores. And we didn't want these the bed sores to be infected, so we had to flip him every 2 hours. this part of his body who was in so much pain because of the Parkinson's disease. You could see him suffering on his face, but he never spoke a word of, of complaint. Never. You would ask him if he's all right, even if he couldn't even get to when he went to the point where he couldn't even speak, you could hear him mumbling, like, that means in English, like, I'm okay, I'm good, I'm great. That means I'm in shape, like, from word to word translation. My dad never saw differences of social classes. In Haiti, there's a huge difference. My dad never saw that, and he was always welcoming everybody. He was not seeing differences. He was welcoming everyone. He was friendly with everyone. Everybody loved him. I don't think I've ever met someone who hated him. Never. I was so close to him. He was the one who understood me the most. He was the one who introduced me to music. He taught me how to dance. Just to give you like a summary of who he was and the values, the things that I remember about him and I won't forget ever. But the best thing that I got from it all is that he gave his life to Christ. And that's the best thing. That's the very best thing ever. That he gave his life to Christ. And that we promised each other before he left. And I really bless the Lord for allowing me to have this conversation with him, because I know many parents wouldn't have those type of very sensitive conversations with their children even before they leave. And we were like, whatever happens, let's promise each other that we will find ourselves with Christ. We will meet each other with Christ. And we pinky swore. And I believe 1,000% sure that I will see him with Christ. So I could write so many things. I could say so many things. I just wanted to share some things that I have learned throughout the process. And at the same time, honor my dad. And I think my dad would be happy to see me make a video as such. And what a great way to start a YouTube channel, a YouTube, project. What a great way, just to honor your parents. Something I didn't do in the past, guys. Something I didn't do in the past before I encountered Christ, because I was prioritizing friends. I was prioritizing culture. I was prioritizing, I did not give time to my family at all. And it's only when I encountered Christ, God has truly given me the true meaning, has shown me what is the true value of family, the true meaning of family, and the importance of having a family. The weight it has on someone's life, and even in community. Yes, God cannot, make me go back in time to fix the broken parts, but I know that God is going to allow me to redeem it in a way. Sorry guys if you hear the rain. Sorry, I don't have a selective microphone, a sound selective microphone. Maybe it sounds like a video homage, I don't know how to say it in English, to my dad. But I also wanted to give it to make this video as a testimony of God's love and God's faithfulness in this time. God has been so faithful. God has been so faithful throughout this whole process. And to be truthfully honest, it's now going to be 2 weeks. And since my dad left, God has given me proofs that he is with him. And God, he wasn't even, he wasn't even obliged to give me this proof, because the proof is in his word. If you give your life to Christ, you will have eternity. So that's the proof. But since I have asked it, he didn't have any obligation to give me a confirmation, but he gave me a confirmation, 2 confirmations actually, that my dad was with him the day he passed. He gave me a lot of confirmation in the before, but when he passed, I made sure to ask him, please tell me he has arrived. Well, tell me he's with you. And God gave me 2 confirmations. The first one was when the car, when the car came to pick up his body to bring him to the morgue. The sky was yellow, but in a goldish way. I didn't pay attention. I just paid attention to the sky, but it didn't ring a bell. I just looked at the sky while everybody was looking at the car leaving on the one side, and everybody was looking at one side, and I was on the other side looking at the sky, like trying to find like something. I don't know. But I remembered the sky was gold. It was 7 a.m. and the sun was about to rise. But usually when the sun rises, it has those pinkish and purple-ish colors, a little bit of blue. But that morning it was yellow gold. And so that was one proof, and that proof is my dad's favorite color. Yellow gold is my dad's favorite color. God reminded it to me after, like during the day while I was on the phone with my aunt, and she was trying to comfort me and everything, and then boom, the Holy Spirit reminded that to me, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a sign. Thank you, Jesus. So I really thanked him. The second time, we went back to his bedroom, and we were looking at the sky because it had started raining, and it was raining, yet it was sunny. And you know what it means after. Yeah. So there was a rainbow. And you know what it means, rainbow? It means God's covenant with his children. So it was his covenant to remind us that, hey, I honored it. He's with me. He's safe. And he's safe, and his soul is at peace with me. God had given my sister visions about my dad being in heaven with him. So yeah, that's really comforting, and that's what's keeping us strong. So strong that so many people, when they call us, up until today, they call us and they were like, are you sure you're okay? Are you sure you're, like, they find it very weird that we are filled with so much peace and even joy and strength. I'm looking at my mom. Jesus, my mom had been taking care of my dad. She was the one taking care of my dad since he got sick, like getting him off the bed, washing him, every single thing. Anyway, so people would ask us all the time, hey, like, it's so crazy because we were the ones comforting people, and they would call us and we would be the ones strengthening them. And my mom is so strong in this time. My dad has been his best friend, and seeing my mom hanging in there, and yes, we may cry, yes, we may mourn, but it's like God has been putting a cushion underneath the 3 of us so that we won't be hurt, so we don't feel any shock. And we didn't feel any shock in the fall. We're going through grief, but like we're feeling like in a cloud. We're in a cloud of peace, yet we're mourning. I don't know if I make sense. and we feel God's love every single day. It's just amazing. You know the word that says the joy of the Lord is my strength. It is so true, and we're living that. And it's so beautiful to see in the midst of the chaos. That's when you that's when you feel and you hear Christ the most. That's actually when you hear and you feel Christ the most. I wonder if I was not a Christian and that happened, I think I would be crushed. So crushed. But God is so good. His timing is perfect. So yeah, this is my video to kickstart this new series on YouTube. And it's starting with a video honoring my father. My dad is such a great man. No wonder why God took him. You know, sometimes when they say the good people always leave first, and that makes me think, are we living the rapture right now? Is it all at once when God said there will be a rapture? Is it all at once? Everybody would leave all at once, or just, you know, handpicking year after year, good people leaving, good people leaving? I wonder. You could probably be living the rapture right now. I'm not gonna try to make it long because it's gonna be a long video, but because I would be talking about my dad so much. I'm gonna share what my dad taught me before he left. He taught my sister and I. He said, remain humble. One. Secondly, he said, the value of a man is measured by the size of his heart. No one chooses where they come from. No one chooses their origin. No one chooses their own family. Nobody. But you can actually choose how to value and to love people. And that's how your value comes from. Your value does not come from your origin. Your value does not come from the amount of money that you have. Your value does not come from the education you're having, or the school you went, or your value does not depend on that, but it depends on the size of your heart, what you give to people, the love, the amount of love you give to people. Another thing that my dad taught me, well, another thing that God taught me through my dad's passing is that family is very important. And if you try to, like, if there is, like, of course they're going to be arguing, but if you try to win an argument over your family and to the point where your family breaks, it's not worth it. Truthfully, no argument is worth breaking your family. No argument, regardless of the topic, religion, politics. No argument is worth having just because you want to satisfy your own ego and, you know, your pride, and you want to, you know, you want to be right. You're not gonna be right if your family's broken. If you break your family, you're not gonna be right. The other things that I've learned from God is that give family your time. Give time to your family. Give time. Like, the enemy in this day and age, he will try everything to steal your time so that you won't be able to get to your purpose. And he tries with a lot of distractions to keep you away from the purpose that God has for you. So try to put these distractions away and everything that, you know. And it could also be work. It could be everything. It could be anything that could steal your time. And use this time to give it to people who are worth it, like your family. And time is so valuable. Give it to, like, spend it with your family. Honor your family with your time. You don't have to spend money to give them gifts, because gifts don't talk. They don't give affection, they don't give love. But your time and your presence are. So, and it's more valuable. You have family members, and you don't have to take them somewhere fancy. You don't have to give them a gift, like, that's worth, like, it's worth, like, you don't even have to give to spend something. Just you can have board game time with your family, your parents, your kids, your wife, your husband, your parents, your grandparents. Have a board game time, or just have a walk. Take a walk with them, listen to them, talk to them, and mostly listen to them. Yeah, it's more valuable. Give them your time, because time cannot be taken back. You won't have it back. We're just going. Life is going. Life goes on. That's why I have to we have to keep on moving. I have to post videos. I have to, keep moving, keep doing what God has called you to do. But don't waste time by doing things that are not valuable, because you won't have it back. Use it with people who value you and your family, regardless of how they treat you. Just give them time. They want to be heard. So you don't know what you will do to them, and also you will do to yourself. And that's something that God has taught me in this time. Give your family time. Spend time with them. Value them. Honor your parents. Honor them. This is something that is, if I could turn back time, I would honor my family more. I would spend more time with them, and I would create more memories with them, instead of creating memories with people that they won't even stay with you forever, or even friends you think, like, you thought were your friends and they were not, and then yet you still have pictures of them on your phone. You still have pictures of them on your computer, and you have probably less pictures of your family with your dad or with your mom. Yeah, create memories with them. Value them. Honor them. Honor them. Honor them. So I'm leaving you with this note. I think that's what I was supposed to do today before I start this new YouTube channel project from the Lord. You'll surely see me more often on YouTube now. I'll try my best, and not to let any obstacle get in my way, because that's what I was called to do, and that's what my dad would have wanted me to do. So yeah, no guilt, no shame. I'm sure a lot of people will leave with a lesson with this video. Hopefully any of you will find something like valuable from this video. Yeah. Hopefully I'll give you more information when it comes to this testimony, because it's such a beautiful testimony, which is weird to say that my dad's passing was a beautiful testimony. It's weird, but it is true. It is a beautiful testimony, because God has been faithful to us and to my dad. Up until today, he has been the best friend, the best comforter, the best provider, and he has surrounded us with so much love and peace that we cannot even, sometimes we're like, how? The only answer is God. So guys, I'm leaving you right now. Yeah, Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.